serving him. If you have to make a decision between worship and ministry, worship always takes the precedent. Now, I know we just messed ourselves up even more. But that's what this passage is teaching. Why? Because the grass withers and the flower fades, but the word of our God endures forever. So shall it be, the word that goeth forth from my mouth. It will always accomplish that which I set out for it to do. It will never return unto me void. Matthew 4:4, man shall not live by bread alone, but by every word that comes out of the mouth of God. Wherewithal shall a young man cleanse his ways? By taking heed thereto according to thy truth. Thy word is truth. With my whole heart have I sought thee. Oh, let me not wander from thy commandments. Thy word have I hid in my heart, that I might not sin against you. Here's what Job said. I have esteemed your word more than my necessary food. If I have to make a decision between natural food and spiritual food is going to win every time. Yeah. The word, not commentaries. The word, not seminar notes. The word, not devotional guides, daily bread, today in the word, not tapes, the word, not CDs, the word, not DVDs, the word, not television watching and radio watching. Let me tell you what that's like. I had my worship at home. No, you did not. If you substituted what God said that you should do on Sunday for watching television, you took the good, but you missed the best. You know what it's like? It's like going into a restaurant and reading the menu and not getting anything off of it. God designed this. We didn't. Yeah. He designed it. We didn't. So it's the place of doctrine, but notice it's the place of devotion. Notice what he says to her. She has chosen the good part. The word agathos literally means that which is good inherent of itself. It's the good that comes from what it is. You remember the little old lady and her husband, they were going down the expressway, and they saw two young people in front of them, in the car in front of them. Must have been young people because the seat was all the way back. And then the two heads almost looked like one. And she looked over and she said, you know, we used to be close like that, and I sure miss that, and, you know, wonder what happened to us. And he's driving, he looked over and said, well, I ain't moved. Yeah, if you don't feel close to God, can I tell you something? He ain't moved. He hadn't moved. If anybody's moved, it's us. She comes to the place of devotion. What does it mean to be devoted? Man, I say I just let that sermon go and just talk about my dog as an illustration in every one of these points. Because it's like, I'm telling you, it's like I'll be sitting down and she'll just come and be in the room where I am. And then I can always tell when I come home where my wife had sat because she always brings her little toys. I never could figure it out. She has about 8 or 9 little toys. If you're sitting there for any length of time, all of those toys will be where you're sitting. And I said, but she loves these things. I began to think about it. Do all of my toys come and be submitted to the feet of Jesus? All the little things that I could be doing that would take me away from him, do I come and submit those? Then y'all ain't going to pray with me. I'll just let that thing go. I better let that thing go. I better let it go. In other words, notice, fourthly, it's the place of destiny. Listen to what he says in the text. He says, heard his word. Now, you got to see this word. This word heard literally means to get direction and to get instruction so as to perform what is spoken. She's sitting at the feet of Jesus. Why? Because that's the way you get direction from him. That's where your destiny is tied. See, I told you about my new ride with this turn-by-turn navigational system. Well, I got rid of that and leased that new car. But before I had that, I had a 2004. And the 2004 had a different kind of navigational system. Let me tell you about this navigational system. It's the same thing, but it ain't like this one. because you can get direction while you're going. You can call them up, bang. They say, good morning, Mr. Ford. How are you today? I'm fine. How are you today? My name is Mark. I'm here to serve you today. They say, well, that's good. At least somebody served me today. They say, okay, what do you need, Mr. Ford? I'm lost, but I'm going to give me direction. And then he says, okay, it'll be on your computer in just a moment. But before that, here's what had to happen. I had to stop, pull over, and put the car in park, or they would not give me directions. Now, why? Because they're afraid that if you're getting the directions while you're driving, you increase the possibility of having an accident. So you have to stop, pull over, put it in park, then they give you directions. The Bible says, be still and know that I am God. Now I got to go back to this dog. I might as well forget about the dog sermon because I'm telling you this dog is unusual. She is so smart. Like, for example, when I get ready to go, I say, get in the truck. And she'll go stand at the truck, and I'll open the door, and she'll get in the truck. I'll say, we're going in the car today. She'll go and stand by the car door, and I'll open it, and she'll get in the car. So she'll sit in the passenger seat, and I'll say, you can't drive. Get in your own seat. And she'll get over in the passenger seat. And so I'm telling you, this dog is smart. Now check this out. You talk about direction. Listen to this. You ain't going to believe this. I take her out. We come back. And I told you about the glass door. So I'll come up to the glass door, and I noticed that she would sit down. And I said to myself, let me see if this dog is this smart. So I just stood there and looked at her. And then she looked up and looked at me and then looked back at the door. And so I said, I'm going to see how long she going to sit there and look at the door. And it was like she was saying, I'm going to see how long he going to stand there without opening the door. And she was looking at the door. I put my hand on the knob, and she'll get up on all fours. If I take my hand off, she'll sit back down. Then when I open the door, she'll walk through. I said, man, this dog knows how to trust in